Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm happy to record it and post it in Mighty for you. So you'll have access to it in Mighty. Also, here's the big thing. If you can't be on the call, but you want to ask me something, email me, pleasance@littleohm, and I will make sure to address it on the call. Pleasance@littleohm, and I will address it on the call, okay? All right, so let's get started. Here's my harsh, tough love for you today. Ready? How to get the most out of our time together. Number one, I want you to sit down right now with a piece of paper, and I want you to think about what I'm going to say, because the number one thing that I'm teaching lately is personal responsibility. Do not blame someone else for your interest or participation or lack of participation or what you get out of this. This is up to you, okay? Everything you need is right here. It may take a little bit of a learning curve for you to understand how to work the new system, but that's okay. We do hard things. We learn new systems. We grow. We expand. And when we don't, we're degenerating and our ego is staying in the comfort zone. So I am asking you to right now sit down and answer this question. Why am I here? Why did I sign up for this? What am I interested in getting out of it? What is my intention? Set your intention. Share on Mighty your intention. Why are you here? Be open. Be ready to change and grow and evolve and be vulnerable. Group coaching, group healing, group growth has way higher rates of transformation and success in habits, in well-being practices than one-on-one. And for a lot of you guys who are joining, you are not paying one-on-one prices. So show up, right? Like whatever you invested, whatever you committed, this is for you to get anything and everything that you want out of it, but you have to show up and take full responsibility, okay? So set your intention. Here's the big point I want you to know in terms of our cognitive circle that we're talking about all the time and how we're responsible. Number one, your thoughts and feelings impact, so let's think of it as a circle, thoughts and beliefs are at the top. Next comes feelings and emotions, right? We're circling around thoughts and beliefs, feelings and emotions, and that equals action and results. So right now, if your thoughts and beliefs are, I'm not good at this, I'm not going to get there, this is stupid, I don't know what I'm into, if that's what it is, then that's going to impact your feelings and emotions, which are, I never complete these courses, I don't even know what I'm learning here, this isn't for me. And then the results and the outcomes that you get will be, it's not going to work, you're not going to learn anything, and you certainly won't be growing in the Thrive community. So pay attention. If your thoughts and beliefs right now are, this is going to be amazing, and then your feelings and emotions are, maybe I'm nervous and I'm scared, but I'm in it and I'm totally present. And then the actions and the results are going to be, wow, I learned this, I saw this, I deepened this. So pay attention to that cognitive circle and how you're interacting with it, because we're only 3 days in to some of you having access, and I already am getting feedback from some of you, resistance, fear, and it's so normal. I love that. Embrace it. Bring it on, because it's showing us where we need to grow and learn. It's showing us where I just had resistance this morning to something else that was happening, and I thought, oh man, I need to sit down with that journal and figure out what's happening. This is happening. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm feeling, and this is the action. Let me just change that circle. Okay? So don't resist the growth. The growth, ego, we're going to talk about this. You're going to see this in Thrive so much, but just know that resistance is part of the growth process. It gives us some juice to journal on, and it gives us some information to work with, okay? Get what you need from this course. Get what you need from Thrive. Get what you need from your soul sisters. Everyone in here, you guys have the biggest hearts. You're so caring. You're so thoughtful. You're so engaged in your life. Use one another. Get accountability partners. Post out what's happening with you, what area you're interested in, okay? For example, if you're really interested in starting a meditation practice, post in the group. Maybe someone else is also, okay? So get what you need, personal responsibility. Now, the next part I want to talk about is some logistics with the content. I want you to make sure that you're giving it the proper time. I'm not going to tell you how long that is because each of your lives are different. You have to determine that for yourself. I am not going to tell you that. Okay, so you determine for yourself what is the proper time. If you say that this is important, what is that why that you signed up, right? The whole beginning of Thrive talks about your why. What is your well-being why? How are you defining thriving, wellness, well-being, healthy, vibrant? What does that all mean to you so that we can start to really talk about and dig into those areas? So give it the proper time in your life. If you want to commit 30 minutes a week and you're just consistent with that for the next 6 weeks as you're moving through the topics, and do that. If you want to say, you know what, I'm really going to go all in, I'm going to give it 30 minutes a day, and I'm going to look at the content, I'm going to listen to a podcast, or I'm going to do the assignments and post them in Mighty. Like that will be up to you. But if you say it's important, put it on the front burner. Don't put it on the back burner and then wonder why nothing ever changes for you, or why you don't feel like you really learned anything. So the materials and the technology, navigating these new systems, Thinkific and Mighty, and you being scared, it's okay. It's all normal. We all have to learn new technologies and new things, and that's just part of the process. And when we kind of relax into it, grab a cup of tea, just say, this is going to be part of the learning and growing, is like, how do I respond when things aren't easy? Haha. That is a huge one for me. How do I respond when things aren't easy? So turn your focus on the program for the next 6 weeks. Sit down with your calendar and map out the next 6 weeks. What are you going to do? When is your non-negotiable Thrive time? Plan it. That whole first topic is planning. There's so much in there. You have this, okay, you guys? The content is not going away on December 30th. You're going to have access to it. Yes, some things are changing, but I love our community, and I'm never going to do anything to pull stuff away from you or like threaten you that it's going to go away. You have time with it. So touch base, see how it is, work with it, and then touch base with it again, right? We kind of keep coming back. I promise you that we have put these practices and resources in here that can be totally life-changing when you spend some time little with it over this time period, okay? But don't be afraid or fearful that it's going to go away so you're not going to do anything. Any small shifts or changes or things that you learn, they're all information, okay? This is part of the practice. It's not one quick fix. It's not one pill that's going to change your life in 24 hours. It takes time, and our culture does not talk about that. It does not speak about the time that it takes to let some of this unravel and refresh our lives, okay? So map out your Thrive time over the next 6 weeks. I'm very cheap, and anything that I spend money on, I take full advantage of it. So I am telling you guys, get your money's worth. Whatever you paid, whatever you contributed, show up, ask questions, be on the Mighty group, use the Thinkific content. You guys, are so much to learn in there, and it's all so juicy and delicious, and I hope it really helps you. So get your money's worth, set your intention, start again now using your deep breaths. And what I say for start again now and use your deep breaths is that if you're feeling frustrated by something, pause and center yourself, get in your body, embodiment, and just start again. Ask for help or start again, okay? So if you catch yourself getting frustrated, lost, angry, or blaming someone else, me or the program, remember that these are all growth opportunities, and these are mirrors and reflections for other ways that you're in relationship, okay? So I don't take it personally, because I know that as we're all kind of pushing up against new ways of being, it creates discomfort. So just pay attention. Actually, when that happens, it's great information for your journaling. It's great information for you to practice being uncomfortable and being in discomfort. That's how we grow. That's how we expand. That's how we learn to let go. And that's how we learn how to be more open in our lives, okay? So is there anything that you can let go of over the next 6 weeks? Say no to, do less of, experiment with? Like, I'm in the middle of a social media detox experiment, a month off of all social media. Maybe you need to do that to make space for Thrive. Some of you guys know I quit drinking in July. Again, making space, clarity. I wanted to feel great every morning and be able to wake up fully and study and read and write and be in my life. And I knew that alcohol, one of the reasons I stopped drinking, now I know it's been almost 6 months, is that it was blocking that feeling good state. So it's an experiment. I'm experimenting with not drinking to see, do I have more room for the things that I truly value and love? So far, the answer has been yes. And also someone asked me recently about how do I read so many books? And that's another way. Like, I think when you take some things out of your life and you experiment with them, you find more space for what really matters, and reading really matters to me. So what can you experiment with? What can you say no to? Maybe this holiday season won't be so crazy. Remember that whole cognitive circle? So if your thoughts and beliefs are the holidays are crazy, then your feelings and emotions will be tied up with that, and your actions and results and outcomes will be the holidays crazy. I don't use that language. My holidays, I go into it, they're so connected, they're peaceful, they're full of light and candles. And so the feelings associated are spacious, relaxed, loving, and giving. And the outcomes and of my life are that's what my holiday seasons are like. And because I know that it can be painful for a lot of people, there's a lot of death and loss and grief and relationship pain and struggle. It's really nice to have some space and some sort of candle ceremonies daily. I light the candles in the morning, maybe at night, where you're just relaxing with it, maybe baths, things like that, that really help you process difficult emotions, okay? All right, so patterns and habits around your own finishing this course, working with this course. Do you have reasons or excuses that you don't finish other courses? That's all about self-worth. So again, we don't have time to go into it today because I want to make sure to get this out to you before I leave for the Sacred Circle in a few hours. But here's the deal. If you sign up for courses and you never finish, don't let this be another one of those. Just delete everything and walk away now, or say, you know what? I'm going to try to do it differently. I am worthy enough of this material. I am worthy enough of changing my life. I'm worthy of transformation. I'm worthy of having rituals and routines that feel good and help me move through difficult times and seasons, and that I'm worth it. And that's why I'm making this a priority. That's why I'm putting it on the front burner. That's why I'm showing up for Q&A calls or reading the material or posting in Mighty. There's so many ways to be involved in Thrive because we are international, and everybody has a different entry point. So one of the biggest takeaways is there's no wrong way, okay? Don't look for me to give you, you're doing it right, or you're getting an A. There's so many ways to interact with this material, and it's up to you, because I'm really teaching underneath all of this, connection to intuition, highest self. What does your guidance say you need and want? And we have not been living in systems or taking courses that really promote that. We've mostly been saying, this is the way, do it my way. And this doesn't work that way. Thrive is about you figuring out you from the inside out. And these are the ways that you do it, okay? If you want to feel better, make it a priority, whatever your intention is. If you're noticing that resistance, if you're noticing that you want reasons to quit, right? Blaming, shaming, if your patterns or habits are looking for all the ways it doesn't work, that's where we come back to that cognitive circle. If your thoughts are, this won't work, then your feelings will be, I never finish these courses, and then your actions and outcomes will be not finishing and go right back to those same neural network patterns, okay? This is much deeper stuff, but I just want to start throwing these terms at you so you at least understand the layers that are happening in your brain and your thoughts, and when your ego and your soul, as we push on that ego and that way of being and say, how does that feel? Why are you doing it that way? Integrity is about integrating. Integrity is about showing up, doing the assignments, or jumping on the calls or reading the content and really thinking about using your journals and your experiments, okay? So I really highly value integrity, and I really ask for you guys to have that also. Forgiving yourself, letting go of guilt, making the choice to be here. One of the last things I want to kind of tell you is I really want you to give yourself permission to fully show up here. No one is going to shame and blame you. No one's going to make fun of you. There's no perfect. Not one of us in here is perfect, or the way that I usually talk about it is we're all perfectly imperfect. We're just humans, just showing up, being vulnerable, speaking our truth and experience, not oversharing. We're not going into the history of trauma and abuse, and we're not therapists. This is not therapy. We're not a therapy group, but we are in support of experience, sharing our stories and being real women in the world who want to make a difference in our own lives, in our families, in our communities. So you have permission to fully show up. You have permission to go all in. It's scary. It's exciting. I wake up every day like, oh my gosh, I'm all in my life, and I'm so scared because there's so here's the deal. As you do this, more people may share their feelings that aren't that comfortable with you. Some people may not like you. People pleasing, that gets really pushed. I've had a lot of that this week where I've let people down, or people have told me different things that it feels really scary and hard for me because I'm putting myself out there more and more, and our community is growing. So we have permission to go all in and accept that it's going to bring a whole host of feelings. And that's okay too. We do hard things, right? We do hard things. We say that all the time. I already do this. If you find yourself saying, I already do this, I already do meditation, I already do movement, or the invitation here is to notice when you're saying that and find a reroute, like find another way to talk about doing it, find another experiment within it, maybe journal on why you're doing it so that you can clarify, like, I do this because, and this is how I feel. So if you find yourself getting stuck, use the meditation tool of Beginner's Mind, which is like, oh, let's just pretend you've never heard any of these things and you're going to start again and start now, especially in like morning routines when people are like, oh, I already do this, or I know about this. There's a difference between knowing about it and doing it and exploring. When I started morning routines, I started with, 10 or 15 minutes, and now it's hours, because there's always more. So if I had started with 10 or 15 minutes and then heard someone talk about morning routines and said, oh, I already do that for 10 or 15 minutes, I might have missed out on all of the other like really fun psycho-spiritual practices and embodiment that I can do and I do in the morning. So always think about Beginner's Mind. Let's let go of judging ourselves. Let's let go of trying to get anything right. Let's just be together during this time. Now, I will keep in touch with you guys about Lola, about what's happening as we transition, but don't worry about any of that right now. Right now, you have an on-demand program for the next 6 weeks, which means you have, actually beyond 6 weeks, but you can think about it in terms of you have these lessons each week and you can touch base with them, touch in with the community. You can post your assignments on the Mighty Network. We will read them. Rita and I are going to be there for you for the next 6 weeks, and we will hold hands for those who want to transition to Lola and those who don't. That's okay too. As you got in the email yesterday, everyone will be invited to Sacred Circles in 2019. We're having it kind of be a la carte because some of you guys are not in DC and you just want the online learning, and some of you guys are in DC and you don't want the online learning, you just want that physical connection once a month. So that's why we have those two offerings for 2019. Don't worry about any of that right now. You can always reach out to us. We're here for you. We're excited, and really go back and do this journaling today. What is your intention? Why are you here? What do you want to get out of it? And post it in Mighty. We want to hear from you. All right. See you guys later.